Hello and welcome to day 10 of Georgie's Stripping the Dipping 12 Days of Christmas. I'm your host, F1 Blag, and I've got one of my favourite guests of the season. I know I say that every time, but look, on Stripping the Dipping, we spot talent. So on the 10th day of Christmas, Georgie booked for me 10 GB4 podiums. That means today we're going to feature a clip from our interview with Colin Queen. He finished 4th in the GB4 series and he's on the cusp of announcing where he's going to go for 2024. So after hearing this clip, if you're interested in finding out what's happening with Colin Queen in 2024, then look out for our live show, YouTube Live, on the 10th of January. So without further ado, here's Colin telling me what it was like to step up from Formula Ford to GB4.
It's been absolutely phenomenal. You know, the first year, Slicks and Wings, to get that under my belt is absolutely awesome. 10 podiums is definitely was, some good successes, for this year. It could have been a bit better, to be honest, but, it was stiff competition, for sure, especially the top 4 or 5. But yeah, no, I've learned a substantial amount and improved so much as a driver and a person overall. And, to work with a team like Fortec Motorsports is, just incredible. Very mature team all around, very proficient with what they do. And it's nothing more except for living the dream. Racing in England.
I'd be intrigued to hear, stepping up from Formula Ford to GB4, obviously, there's more downforce, I'd imagine, there's more mechanical grip, as you've described on the tyres. How does that affect your approach? Like, you're turning up at a corner pretty fast. How does the car differ from a Formula Ford car?
Yeah, so how that differs is it's very different. It's a completely different philosophy of driving that I've had to learn over the course of the year, just trying to perfect it. It's mainly just trying to keep the car very stable throughout the corner, whether that's high speed, low speed, or medium speed corners. Other than a Formula 4 where you just kind of flick it in and just not hoping it grips, but you're just trying to maximize the speed in a different way that suits the car's balance. And it's just very different, much more, I would say, difficult to do, but you do it enough test days and you start to get the hang of it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I was watching your season. You're probably not aware of this because you're sort of in the cockpit, but it's all shown on YouTube, which I think is a great exposure for your series and for yourself. And of course, in the final weekend, which was probably about a month ago at the time of recording, you scored a double second place, if I'm not mistaken. Would you say that through the season you found yourself improving? Were the other drivers improving as well? How did you feel your sort of trajectory went over the season?
No, it's definitely been progressing every race weekend, and you can definitely see that with the other drivers, especially my rivals such as Tom Mills and Cooper Webster and Liam McNeely. They put in some good work, and to just be fighting so close in times over whole race distance, and no one's making a mistake, or it all comes down to the starts, really. You can definitely see who really puts in the work and who doesn't, and I'm glad that I was definitely one of the ones that was extremely focused and just trying to maximize my performance. So I think without that I would be kind of left in the dust. So it's although it wasn't the biggest grid, obviously for an F4 field, the competition was quite stiff, and I have no doubt that most of these drivers up front will be going places.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of modestly said, the top 4 or 5 was really competitive. For those listening, if you check out the championship, I mean, if you're watching it through the season, it was fairly obvious. There was, as far as I could see, there was basically a top 4, and you guys would almost consistently be the top 4 in one order or another, and that's borne out in the kind of final standings. So, I mean, you talk a bit about where you might be going next. Before we jump into that, because I'm going to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger for our listeners. Just a reminder: if you're listening at home, do like, share, comment, or subscribe. Later in the episode, I'll give you some tips of other episodes to go and listen to. But the one I'm going to mention now is the most recent YouTube live we did was from Dens, and actually it was with Mario Andretti again, who came back and graced us with his presence. So if you're listening at home, do go on YouTube and check that out, and we'd love to hear from you. So jumping back in, Colin, you talked about sort of the front runners are going places. What are your aspirations for 2024? Do you have any plans yet, or is that something you're going to dangle in front of us and not quite announce?
I'll definitely give a hint. It's the announcement is on Thursday, so definitely stick forward to that. It's definitely exciting, with what I'm doing next year, and I'm very hopeful for the future, and so excited with where I'm going. So.
Well, look, on that, we have a little bit of a sort of short question, which we ask our guests, which is, we're not asking you to tell us where you're going next year, but it's called the Hot Lap Challenge. So you can pick any car and any circuit that you would like to drive in your sort of wildest dreams. So how about that? Hot Lap Challenge, any car, any circuit. Which one do you pick, Colin?
That's an easy one. F3 Macau. That's top of my list at the moment. So.
Okay, well, I won't be rushing out and buying my flights to Macau just yet, but who knows? On Thursday I might have another reason to. So let's see. But yeah, what a classic race! I hope you get to realize that dream. I really do.
I hope so too. No, I watched the race, last weekend or 2 weeks ago, and what an amazing venue! What an amazing race! They definitely put on a show. It's on the edge of your seats pretty much the whole time.
Yes, it's a really interesting one with that because obviously we love motorsport. You even more than me. You're sort of pursuing a career, but we know about Macau. But I think that Macau permeates kind of culture much more than I guess other Formula 3 level races. Would you put that down to the track? Is it that the cars are nimble enough to kind of compete on a circuit like that? What do you think it is about Macau that jumps out?
Yeah, I would definitely put it down to the track. Obviously, the FIA 3 cars, and it's a beast of a car. It's you just look at it. It's just incredible of what speeds they can do with what they have. It's also it's a racer's dream. It's at least a single-seater driver's dream to race there, and just having the honor of competing there, and if you win, you go down in history, and it's like the Monaco or Indy 500 of F3 or the juniors category. So that is the race I would want to do.
Thank you for listening to day 10 of our 12 Days of Christmas series. As I said at the beginning, if you're interested in knowing where Colin Queen's going to be doing his racing in 2024, then look no further than YouTube Live on the 10th of January at 8 p.m. UK time, where we'll have Colin Queen on the show interviewed by our very own AMG Dens. Speak of the devil, I'm sure I'm going to catch up with him soon.